Hello and welcome to Flory Models Daily Show. Here we are on Wednesday the 12th of October 2016, and as you can see down here, it's finished. Yes, me and Steve yesterday afternoon during the Q&A show finished off. I literally put the doors on and that was it. And to be honest, with the doors I used the Bondic stuff. It's amazing how things remind you of, because the great thing about it is the ultraviolet, you hold it, glue it, zap it, job done. And they're a lot stronger than super glue as well, so it does work very well from that point of view. But yeah, thank you to everybody who joined us obviously yesterday. You had some great questions. As I say, we've now got some demo pieces between us. I got a few out as well. So Steve's got things like tracks, he's got a bit of armour, he's got an aircraft. I've got basically the same here as well. So if you have got any questions, so now what we're going to try and do with Steve's multiple camera angles he's got now and with mine is to actually physically show you. Let me just stop this thing whizzing round and round here because it's driving me mad. There we go. So yeah, but no, it's really good because we managed to finish off these. So part of the live scale stuff. Live scale? No, that's not right. Live shows that we do and live builds we do. To show you something like this as we're working along, as we're answering questions, and you can see are problems that we come across. And to be honest, there was loads with this particular build, but it's nice that we were able to show you in real time how we went about doing it. So little things like, last week on Sunday night, when we was doing the tinting, stuff like that. Things were working, things weren't working, we gave up, we started again, and all stuff like that. So, it's just really nice to be able to share that sort of live and interaction with you. And trust me, there is a lot more of the live stuff to come. We're investing, as you know, quite a little bit of money into this. So in the future, especially next year, things are going to change big time. We're going to bring you more live, more interaction, have you guys on as with us as well, and everything else like that. So, as a lot of you know, I went to the dentist this morning, and seeing as I can speak and I've got bits of card with writing on, they didn't do anything. It turns out the tooth that's giving me trouble, they took the nerve out. It had a root canal a couple of years ago, so they can't think what it is. So he's been around, prodded it, poked it and everything else, can't find anything wrong with it. So anyway, I've got to go back next week, where they found two other little fillings they want to do, and they're going to change the one that's on that tooth from a metal filling to one of those white ones. So, a bit weird, but can't work out what it is. But I haven't had any pain now for the last couple of days with it, so we're not too sure what's going on with that. But what it does mean is I can basically get straight on. So actually what I've done, I've just finished it. I've done the editing work for the riveters, not riveters, the scribers, wherever they are. I don't even know what I've done with them now. Here they are. For these particular guys, for the MRP stuff, what I've done is I've done a full sort of breakdown about using them, what's right with them, what's wrong with them. And as you know, last week when I mentioned them, I'm not exactly a fan. I think there's better stuff out there, but anyway, you'll see that one. That'll be up with you on Friday, as well as the Badger paint stirrer, which I must admit I've actually loved. That's worked really, really well. So that's going well. And then tomorrow what I'm going to be doing is, it's over there now, I've got that big Hind box from Edard with the two kits in there, the books and all the bits and pieces like that. So we're going to be doing that one. So what that frees me up now is this afternoon I can get on with this guy. So to be honest, I started standing it and standing straight through the paint. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of touching work down here just to put that right. But what we can do this afternoon is get the metal work done, get it sealed, okay, and everything else like that. Get it unmasked, check it, make sure we're all happy, and then we can go about actually starting to get some decals onto it, and then we can get a wash onto it, and so forth and so on over the next couple of days. So that one is really coming together very, very good. So anyway, we'll see how we get on with that a little bit later. Okay, so good afternoon's work, to be honest. Really pushed on, and I had a go with the first time with these guys. Now, these are the MRP paints, and I'm sure you're sick of me keep going on about them. But they are good, I must admit. I've never used them before, and we did all the metal work down here on the underside of the F1, and I don't know, it really does work. I don't, you know, as you say, this is going to sound like I'm pushing them. Don't forget, I have no way financial types or anything on here whatsoever. There's no reason for me to big this stuff up. But, you know, this is the underside colour. And actually, when you put it side by side with the guns stuff, it looks better. And I know technically it can't. And I know you're probably all thinking now, yeah, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. But honestly, it's just one of those weird things that it's working for me, which I do have to point out. It's working for me. It might not work for you. You might still think this stuff's terrible and all the rest of it. But it just seems to go down so really well and easy. Now, this is the first time we use the metallics. So obviously, you know, they all say the same thing. Like we got down here bird time, which I thought, yeah, very good exhaust. And we've got exhaust metal, which, yeah, okay, no problem at all. A gun metal, I tend to like that colour because it gives you that thing where you can post shade with it and things like that, so that's always a nice colour. Dark aluminium is what it says on the tin, a dark aluminium, and we got steel. Now, I always like steel, and steel is one of my favourite colours. The biggest trouble you have when you switch to a new brand is finding the colours you like. Now, I don't know if you can see them up there. Can you see this? I think you can just about. My AK range, which I have the entire set, it runs right across the top. So I have my favourites in there and my go-to colours, and I know they work for doing certain jobs. So down the back end here, for this sort of metal look and all the rest of it, we were picking out and I'm thinking, okay, we'll try and cross them over. The burnt metal, as you'll see in the video for this, is a beautiful colour, but it's a little bit too golden for my liking. It's that sort of, you know, gold brass look. It is a stunning metal. You know, there's no doubt about it, but really, I don't know, I don't think it's quite right in that shade. So what I did was I overcoated it with exhaust metal, which exhaust metal, technically, what have we got up there? We got pale jet exhaust, things like that. This is a really nice colour. This has a deep blue hue to it. In fact, it's very much that sort of heated, I wouldn't say like a heated aircraft jet exhaust, something like that. It's not that type of blue, because that tends to be a lighter blue that shows through, and you get the purple tints and things like that. This tends to be if you heat up something like iron, and you get that sort of that type of blue. Now, I know if you've never heated up iron, heated up aluminiums, you're not going to find this one easy to sort of understand. But anybody who's ever heated up a block of iron, you know that sort of medium blue colour it gets. That's what that is, and it's really nice because you can overcoat with it, and that's what we did under here. So underneath this one here, we have this pale metal colour, went over it with this exhaust metal over the top of it, knocked it back an absolute treat. And to be honest, then I did it reverse ways, because what we actually did for the tailplanes in there, because I thought, you know, we don't want this sort of, you know, brassy colour down on the back end, we just used the actual exhaust. But looking at it, it looked a bit too much blue. So what I did was I went over it with a little bit of the dark aluminium, and we just dusted it over it to give us this metal colour. But right the way through, the things we love about this stuff is it seems to have a harder, a sort of more resilient surface than, say, Alclad. Alclad, very fragile, you have to be a little bit careful with it. I've polished this with this said t-shirt. Literally, I've got it down here. We went like this and we gave it a rub over. Now this t-shirt itself, they're quite coarse, you know, they're quite thick. Didn't have to worry about it. I never went through it at all, just to buff it up a little bit. It doesn't change it. It's not a buff wall paint or anything else like that, but it just gives it a bit more reflectivity and a little bit more of a natural look. Anyway, you guys are going to see all about this and everything else on Monday, because that's when that one is up with you. Next, we got the next part of this, which is up today, which is going to complete the actual build itself. So that way you can actually see it basically just before we go into paint. That's literally where we left it. So then next Monday you'll get the full thing about doing the camo work, doing the underside and everything else like that, and then probably on Wednesday you'll get the actual bit on the metallizers as we make our way through. So for me tomorrow, I've got reviews to do, but I'm hoping that I'll be actually get this deckled up, because the surface is beautifully smooth, no problem. It's not going to need lacquering or sort of clear coating in any way, so we can go straight in and get those markings onto it, and then that way they can be drying off when I do the review, which I'm probably going to do the high tomorrow. We've done the reviews and everything for all the other bits. We've got tools up for you this week as well. So we've got the badge paint stirrer, there's rescribers and all things like that. So generally a really good day for me, really got on very, very well. As I say, a couple of people have messaged me since actually this morning when I spoke to you at lunchtime, asking about, will this be a video build? Technically, guys, it is a video build. It's the one that me and Steve did. It is up on the YouTube channel, free to watch, and it's part of the Saturday shows. It's not as detailed as perhaps we're doing one here where you see it warts and all opened, but we did it all on camera. I didn't do any of that off camera. We just did some sub-assemblies and things like that, a little bit of filler work that, you know, would have slowed down the actual doing the show. But generally the entire thing, roughly as a build, you will see it in its key stages as we did it. So the easiest way to do that one is go back through our Saturday live shows, have a look at those. I know they're long-winded, we're online usually for about 4 hours on a Saturday morning with you, but it is all a part of that. But the other question which we were asked, which has cropped up again, will I be editing it into a standalone video? No, sadly, because of the way it's been recorded, it's 4 hours. I'd have to go through and do the bits. An editing thing, it will take forever to edit that. So unfortunately, it's literally was done as a little bit of fun and things like that. But everything we've done on that, every technique and things, we've used in the full video builds, you can see as well. So that's it from me today. Happy modelling, take care, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.